Here and now. Trouting season reopened yesterday. Unlike brook or rainbow trout, though, brown trout are almost always in season. They were introduced to St. John's rivers by sports fishermen more than 100 years ago, and they're thriving. But apart from that, brown trout are a bit of a mystery. So Memorial University is starting a new project to study the brown trout. Researcher Peter Westley moved here from Alaska to work on it, and he told us his story from the banks of the Waterford River.
So my name's Peter Westley, and like so many people, I came to Newfoundland because I felt like I had no choice. And in lots of ways, it's because of brown trout and the role that brown trout are now playing in the Newfoundland ecosystem, in the rivers and ponds. Brown trout were first introduced on purpose in the early 1880s. Like so many things in Newfoundland, they were brought over in a ship from Europe and introduced to initially the rivers and ponds right around St. John's. And to be clear, it's not really known exactly even where they are along the Avalon. We know systems that have them, but the full extent of where they are is not really clear. And certainly the role they're playing and how they're interacting with native species and that kind of things, we really don't know. And so there's a lot of unanswered questions that are just a scientific gold mine waiting to get harvested. One of the things that's really exciting to me and to others, the 125 years or so since brown trout were introduced to Newfoundland, is how have they adapted to those new environments? And then ultimately, how have they evolved new adaptations to their environments? So one of the things I've heard a lot is that brown trout in Newfoundland have done so well because they're more robust and more tolerant to disturbance than brook trout. And while there may be some truth to that, it's a bit of a paradox because brown trout globally do not always outcompete brook trout. In fact, when you take brown trout from Europe and bring them to North America, they tend to outcompete brook trout. And yet when you take brook trout from North America, move them to Europe, they tend to outcompete the brown trout. And so there's no obvious reason why that should be the case, but the point is that it's just too simplistic of an answer to say that brown trout just always outcompete native species, because it's simply not true. But that's a long way of saying I don't know why they've done so well. So what we're going to be largely doing is using an electrofisher, which uses electricity to capture fish and stun fish so we can not harm them, but capture them. We're then going to be taking photographs to look at how different fish in different rivers perhaps look different in terms of their color patterns, in terms of their fins and their overall shape. We'll also be taking tissue samples that allows us to do genetics to ask the question of whether the populations have diverged genetically in about 125 years. People that have been very generous with sharing information. In fact, that's been probably the most enjoyable thing about moving to Newfoundland, is getting to know the people and what I would say is the aggressive kindness of Newfoundlanders. It's been really fun.
Now to your feedback. Yesterday, Health Minister Ross Wiseman announced this brand new advertising campaign to